It's the one and only 5D Transformations, and I'm back. It's a blessing to be here, man. Thank everybody for joining me. And I just got a quick message as I come back with this next wave of new power for all of you. I want you to understand that everything begins on a binary level, right? We got all these different numbers, but the real true numbers is 0 and 1. If you look at our reality, you'll see that the 0, which is the yin, keep in mind also that the 0, just like if you look at a woman, that 0 versus that 1 is the same difference between the masculine and feminine energy when we talk about our body parts. You know what I mean? Our sexual organs operate very similar, a 1 and a 0, which already gives you a physical example that 1 and 0 is the basis of life. And let's delve deeper into that. We constantly live on the edge of everything and nothing. We live on the edge of reality and death, being awake and being asleep. They're so close together, right? Night and day, man and woman. Now, what I love about the physical element of this reality is that it puts its mathematics and it puts its messages in form so that we can see it. It's the elephant in the room. You see people every day, but we never truly delve into how deep it is that there's men and women, and that in order to create life, they both are required to operate together in an act of balance. And then it has to be good and positive energy or a good feeling, which then births life. So you're looking at some ingredients going on there. Some kind of arousal, some kind of feeling of high vibration to a capacity. It's highly vibratory. The act of connecting is a vibratory act, right? You blend that in with the yin and the yang coming together, right? The 1 and the 0, and that's life. The plus and the minus. When we look at all of these things, what we're seeing is that there's this, you have hot and cold, but I'm going to give you a formula and a secret that's also not a secret, but it is in the sense of how I'm going to explain it. So you have hot and cold. What is the most comfortable temperature between those two? It's warm. It's the feeling in the middle, right? What produces life? It's not just yang. It's not just yin. It's not just male or it's not just woman. It's both in balance, right? So same thing with this planet. The sun and the moon must operate within a form of balance in order for life to be sustained. Oxygen versus carbon dioxide. Each breath, yin yang. That's yin is the inhale, yang is the exhale. So with all of this being said, you're seeing that a balance is the key element to reality. It's the key to mastering this 3D world. You understand? The key to mastering the 3D world is understanding that the only way you have control is by staying in the middle. Let's give an example. Let's say that you really want to make $1 million, and that's always been your goal, and you're going so hard for it. Well, you're now in a position where you're polarized, because if you get the $1 million, you're super happy. If you don't get the $1 million, you feel like a failure. Let's say somebody is in that kind of state. Well, they're going to be a slave to that situation. You can manipulate them to do whatever you need them to do. They'll be put in positions that may be compromising, and they'll be, challenged, in the sense that how much are you willing to do for that million, and when you look at that, they're put in a position where they can be controlled. They control the world. The mind control on this planet is done because of polarization. Most people do things when it comes to work because they have to versus because they want to or because they chose to. And when you're operating from a place of survival, you don't really have much opportunity to delve into the higher levels of consciousness because you gotta survive. So that's what polarization is about. It's either I eat or I don't. It's either this or it's that. And what you begin to realize though is if you're balanced, let's say if you go, yeah, I want $1 million, but at the same time, I already have $1 million internally. Or you could say at the same time, I don't need $1 million. I want $1 million, but I don't need it. Some people might say, oh man, then you're gonna take your foot off the gas but the reality is you're actually creating a scenario where you can control things now. Because you understand that you might get the million or you might not get the million, what it does is it puts you in a position where you can sit back and go, okay, I'm gonna try to get this million, but if I don't, it's okay. So now you can't be controlled by the million because you're controlling the expectation regarding the million. At the end of the day, in that state, you actually, let's say you get the million or you don't get the million, you're still gonna be okay internally. You're still managing things. You still have a say on things. You know, if you're not getting it, you're like, all right, well, if you do, well, okay, that's cool. Let's try to do this. But it's not a scenario where all of a sudden, oh, I need it. I'm not getting it. What am I about to do? All the pressure begins to kick in when you feel polarized. And if you look at society, everything is pushing you towards being polarized. Even, you know, if we look at our religious texts, it's like heaven or hell. That's it. Just to create a scenario where there's only two dual sides generally points to manipulation. You know, if someone says it's either this or it's that, generally they're trying to mind control you. Because if you're not trying to mind control somebody, you're going to give them a variety of options. You're not going to dualize their options and their choices. If anything, you're going to create more space. A very powerful thing to understand is when you're around people who are big thinkers, who are powerful thinkers, who are high vibrational, when you're around them, you feel more space in the environment. You feel more space in your mind. You know, you can feel the space in the room versus when you're around people who are very tight in their perspectives and very fixed in how they see everything. The space feels so tight, you know, and it's so tight being around those types of people. And a lot of it is because of that energy, you know. A lot of it is because, you know, the mind, whatever's going on in your mind reflects in the environment, and that affects people. So if you want to be in an environment where you're in your power, you want to embrace balance. And what's balance saying? Okay, well, you know, if you follow and do the right things based on your religion, then great things are going to happen for you. And then if you happen to not be religious, but you're doing great things, then hey, positive things will happen to you too. And, you know, hopefully you'll be able to find your way into what works for you. Now, what I just said was just open, right? But there's space there. Versus if I say, well, regardless of what you're doing, you know, if you don't believe this one religion, you're just going to go to hell. And that's it. There's nothing you can do about it. You know, that from there's not a lot of flexibility and room for growth. And there's not a lot of balance. It's just this or that. This or that immediately points to imbalance. You know, now we do have ultimatums in life that we have to make, but it never ends after that. You know, there's always more choices to make. And I think even if someone does give you it's either this or that, there's always more. You know, you never dualize. There's always a way to make something happen. And that's called the law of creativity. And that's why we were given creative faculties, man, to make things happen. You know, so with that being said, I'm going to delve more into this later, but it's important to understand that your key to ruling this world, to being the master, is in balance. And understanding that if there's any ailment that you may be experiencing, you just have to figure out what the counter is to that in order to balance out the situation. And that's how healing takes place. Always try to find the balance in order to relieve yourself of the ailments and troubles that you face. Because in most cases, spiritually, the reason why we're going through challenges and battles is because there's something that is too dualized, that we've been doing too much of, that needs to get balanced out. And once you balance that out, you'll see the problem disappear. We start to go into extreme negative states when we keep forcing and keep resisting change. And that's when you end up dealing with a lot of negative karma, because you're unwilling to make the shifts that the universe requires. And a great phrase I've heard in the past is either you're gonna make the shift at, when you're being told to, because the universe is giving you the sign, and you're gonna make the shift and get the reward from it, or the universe is gonna force you to shift. But I tell you, it's always way better when you make the shift versus when you wait for the universe to force you to make the shift. So that's the key. And right now, we're in the time right now where we're stepping into the new age now. We're in it. It's the new age. We're at a whole different speed with things. You're going to see synchronicities and things begin to come into life faster than you've ever seen in your life. I mean, we are in it. This is the day and age where you think it and it happens. This is the day and age where spirituality and spirit science is here. I mean, you're going to see magical things start to happen. And the world is not the same. The vibration picked up dramatically. Things are moving much quicker, much faster, much more high vibrational. And this last shift in November that we just went through, this last shift in November really stamped it. So it's a wrap. So this is your time to go out there and create. So that's my message to y'all, man. I'm Mr. One and Only 5D Transformations. Keep in mind, I got the Patreon available right now with the course on there, Pyramidion, as well as the Dating and Relationship course, How to Free Yourself from Narcissistic Entanglements, that one as well. And we have the MBTI Magic course available. If you want one-on-one coaching, talk to me, man. I got an official 5-week program that's going to be coming out. I'll let y'all know about that. It's a transformational coaching package where I'll be working with a specific group of people. You get 5 sessions. It's 1 session a week. And as I help you take something from ground one and bring it all the way to fruition. That's one of my specialties, is help people start their businesses, their brands, and really getting out of their routine to create a new routine. I'm gonna do a video on routines soon, but when it comes to routines, everything is based on routine. And the reason why you're not where you wanna be in a lot of cases is because the routine that you're currently in has you stuck, and you need to introduce something new in order to now create a new routine. And it only takes, you do something 4 times in a row and it becomes a routine. And that's where, someone like myself comes in, and I can be that X factor, to help shape things up, or that variable to help shape things up and get you in a new routine. And then from there, you run with it. So I've been able to help a lot of people with their businesses, getting them started, getting a whole program together, sales, and all the kind of different methods in order to start creating business and growing business. So aside from that, man, I appreciate y'all listening, man. It's the one and only 5D Transformations. We're back like we never left, and I got some really dope videos for y'all coming up. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.